Okay, alright, let me tell you this really quick story before I go, right? So Zaya, she's been very independent right now. Should I leave this for another video? Okay, so Zaya is being very independent right now and she wants to pee and poo on her own. So the peeing is fine because it's not messy, right? But the poo, no. Alright, so one time she decided that she was going to poo on her own, right? So we have 3 toilets upstairs, and what she decided to do was divide the poo into the separate toilets. So she put in one, she put one in the other, she put one in the other, right? Somewhere along the line, something happened, and one of the poo that she was transferring fell on the floor. So I went upstairs to see her wiping something off the floor. So I did not know at the time what it was. So I'm like, Zaya, what is that? And she's like, Mommy, with the poo, like that. Mommy, her hand is pooed all up, right? She's wiping it with a tissue very well, but wiping it and getting poo all over her hands. So right, so she's cleaning up after herself, which is good. And then when I started cleaning up and I threw it in the toilet, I realized that the garbage bin right beside it had poo as well. So she wasn't just distributing the poo all over the toilet, she was distributing it in the garbage as well. And then it never really get in the garbage, it fell over the back of the garbage, so a wall got messed up. And then somewhere along the lines, her panty and her pants got messed up with the poo as well. And then she took it off, threw it in the dirty bin. That's a good act, very good. However, the poo got on the wall because the dirty bin is against the wall, right? I didn't know. She was all up on me. Mommy, poo all over me, right? And I'm like, what is happening? No, right? So I have so much scars from that one accident, but it's not a regression. It's just like, okay, she's trying to be independent. That's what happens when you teach a baby potty training skills and they decide that they don't want to use the potty, they want to use the toilet. So I just felt like, do you remember that? Do you remember that? I felt like I just felt like I had to drop in that experience right there to tell you that this whole potty thing is no joke. Say hi to the peeps.
Hi, sir. Please.
Hi to the peeps.
Hi, sir, please.
Say hi to the peeps.
Hi, please.
They can't hear you. Say it louder.
Hi, sir, please.
Hi ZB peeps, welcome back to the channel. Today we're just popping in to talk about something that has been happening very frequently based on the fact that it's coming to me. Alright, so we're going to start by asking Zaya some questions. So Zaya, do you remember when you peed in your pants?
In my pants?
Yeah, do you remember when you peed in your pants and your panty?
In my pants?
Yeah, why did you do that? Why didn't you pee in the toilet?
Because I'm feeling toilet.
Because what?
Because I'm feeling toilet.
You pee in the which toilet?
In the other one toilet.
The other toilet. So why you peed your pants?
Because I pee in one bathroom.
Okay, you wanted to pee in the other bathroom, but you peed in one other bathroom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what about when you poo in your panty, like when you do it in your panty, and then you take off your panty? Why you don't do it in the toilet?
Because I do it in the toilet.
But you never do it in the toilet.
Okay.
Yeah, so why? Tell me. We're trying to understand why it is that you saw it fit to do and pee in your pants and your panty. Why?
Because I do in I said, Grandma, I do it in my panty.
Okay, so why did you do it?
So I said, Grandma, I want to do the in the toilet.
Oh, so you do it in your pants because you wanted to do it in the next toilet, but it wasn't there?
No, then Grandma wash my Grandma turn on the pipe and wash my front and my hair.
Oh, okay. That's because you okay, that's because you doodle in your panty, right?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, okay, so she had to wash your vagina.
So Grandma wants to turn on the pipe and wash my front and now.
Okay, no problem. So now, do you know that you're supposed to pee and poo in the toilet? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So, I really want to start by saying how powerful a community is, how powerful having a virtual community is, especially in these times when we can't really see each other and talk about things that are bothering us as parents, right? So this happened to me before, but you know, it happened and I'm like, okay, maybe it's a glitch or whatever. So if you don't figure out what we're talking about potty training regression. And let me start by saying that it is a thing. Zaya, remember what we spoke about? Remember, we said no running, no screaming. Okay, remember? Remember? Are we going to turn off this and we're not going to record it and you're not going to see it on the YouTube channel? No, if you want to run, you can run. No, we said no screaming, not running. If you want to run, if you want to go for your toys, if you want to do anything, you can do that, but you cannot scream when I'm talking, okay? 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 Okay, alright, go put that down. So yeah, it happened to me, and so Zaya was fully potty. Here's her story. Zaya was fully potty trained when she was 18 months. So potty training is dirty, it's messy, it's frustrating, it's just discouraging. Everything about it is just like the worst part, probably one of the worst parts of her as a baby, right? But you know, you get over that and you're glad and you're happy that that is not the case anymore. Okay, go for another toy. This one is too noisy, right? Boops, she turned 2 years old and suddenly she's peeing the bed. We're changing 9 pants per day. She's peeing her panties. She's just not telling us that she wants to pee. So this is from 18 months to 24 months. So she had 6 months. Okay, go for another one. So go for another one, baby. So she had 6 months. She spotted. She spot when I had it. Worth of practicing, and suddenly she starts doing the same thing again, like, and then you go through feelings, right? You felt like you never potty trained her properly before. You felt like you're not a good parent. You kind of feel ashamed a little bit that your baby, who you've been boasting about, is fully potty trained, going like she's not potty trained, right? So there's this feeling of, you know, like your self-worth is questioned, mom guilt is put in place, everything. Like persons are saying, oh, it's just potty training, you don't have to feel this way, all of that stuff. But that's the truth. That's how you feel, right? That's how I felt. I felt like I couldn't really stop. I felt like I couldn't really share. Just stop. Done? Remember what we spoke about? Remember what we spoke about, okay?
Yes.
Right? That's what happens. That's what happens. Come. Oh no, come. Kiss it. Come. Mommy, yes, oh yeah. I hurt my hand and no. Kiss it, make it better. Better?
This.
And this one. Better?
No, this.
Okay, this one. Better?
Yeah.
Better. Yeah, I felt like I couldn't really share it because so many things, right? I'm saying.
Mommy, where's the camera?
And then you feel the frustration again. Like you feel that frustration, like, do I really need to go over this again? And then you feel guilty You feel like you're at fault because by that time I stopped asking her if she wanted to pee. I stopped with the 20 minutes to pee, so she would go sometimes even like hours without peeing, but I'd rely on her to come and tell me that she's peeing, that she wants to pee. But you know, like, you feel like it's your fault that she's now regressing because you should have paid more attention to her, you should have asked her, you should have been more present. All of the mom guilt comes in place: frustration, shame, just guilt, everything, right? But then firstly, potty training regression is a thing. If I said that before, I'll say it again, right? It is a thing. It is not your fault. It happens. It happens. It happens. All right? So then, why does it happen? And at the time, Zaya was really developing, like, alright, disclaimer, I am no specialist, I am no doctor, I am no pediatrician, I am no professional, I'm just a mother, right? So I'm just giving you what I've learned from the whole experience. You can Google it, you can read up on your own, everything, right? But this is from me, my perspective, and what I've been through with Zaya. So at the time, she was developing rapidly in her language, and I read that the developmental I read that when a baby is developing rapidly in another area that she developed in recently tends to lag behind, or she starts to regress in it. And she was developing her language really well, learning tenses, continuous present tense, everything, past tense, everything. She was just developing, making full sentences and everything. And at the time, she was also not drinking a lot of water, so she was constipated, I believe, and she was pushing to poo, and the pee came out, right? And she was constantly, you're ready to go to school? Okay, all right, go. And she was constantly trying to poo, and it just wasn't working. So those were, I believe, the two and okay, go back for your bag, go for your other school bag. Go for your other school bag so you can show them. And at the time, I honestly wasn't really paying much attention to her in terms of the fact that, like, one time she went like 3 hours. Yeah, kill me. 3 hours before she peed, right? Just because I was deep in work, I wasn't really paying attention, and I relied on her to tell me. So it was those 3 factors for her. But I read up as well that, one, it can be that she wasn't properly potty trained. That wasn't the case for Zaya, because I know that I properly potty trained my child, okay? And another reason can be just the fact that they're stressed. Like babies go through stress, right? So they're stressed, or they're stressed and just dealing with a lot of things in their little lives. And another reason can be that they're distracted. Maybe it's the screen time, maybe they're doing an activity, they're so engrossed in... Alright, where's your other bag now? Bring the 2 of them. I want the 2 of them right here. So they're so engrossed in an activity that they forget about their bodily functions. They forget that they need to alert you that they want to go to the potty, or they need to go to the potty themselves. So, like, 5 top reasons: being stressed, being distracted, developing in another area, not properly potty trained in the first place, constipated, and another thing, like, if there's a major change in their life. So sometimes babies go through major change when like a visitor comes over, or you change from crib to a bed, you change where you're living, you change some habit or some routine that they've gotten used to, and so there's a lag, there's a disconnect, there's a discord that happens within their system that causes them to regress in that potty training area. So there are a lot of things. I encourage you to read up on it. For Zaya's case, those were the 3 top things that caused her to regress just the fact that I wasn't checking up. I believe that she was constipated at the time, and she was developing in another major area in her life, right? So how do you deal with potty training regression? After you take your time that you need to wallow in self-pity, wallow in frustration, wallow in all of those things, the good news is that once they learned it before, they can learn it again. So unfortunately, you have to go over the steps with them again. You have to remind them, because sometimes they simply forget, which is another reason they forgot, right? So you have to remind them that, okay, remember, when you want to pee, you go on the potty. When you want to poo, you go on the potty, right? So remind them gently. Don't punish them at all, because it's not their fault. They're just 18 months. They're just 2 years old. So I forgot to mention that Zaya actually regressed 2 times. So that time when she was peeing like nobody's business at 2 years old, and then she regressed probably about 4 months after that. But the regression, it wasn't that bad, because she wasn't peeing totally in puddles on the floor. She was just not catching it in time, so pee was always on her panty. So she'd start to pee, then catch it, like stop peeing, then come to me and say, "Mommy, I want to pee," right? So I'd still have to change her panty all the time, but she'd come and tell me. So it was a regression, but it wasn't such a bad regression as pee in the bed and everything, right? So where was I going with this? Okay, just showing you that regression can happen more than once, but you just need to remind them and say, when you want to pee, you pee in the potty, and when you want to poo, you poo in the potty as well. And you know, peeing in your pants or your panty, that's bad, right? So not punishing the baby at all, right? Because they're just 18 months, 2 years, or whenever they regress in their life, right? So you just need to be gentle with them, and a good thing is to start a reward system as well. So when they actually do it, you remember that first time when you potty train them and you create one bag of excitement over the toilet when they pee and poo, and yay, you get a candy, you get a sticker, you get to flush the toilet and everything. You have to do the same thing again. Like, introduce a reward system for her or for your baby, for him, whichever the gender, right? So that they know that this is a good thing. I need to pee on the potty, right? And when they don't pee on the potty, you don't give them the reward. Obviously, that's how our reward system works, right? So you just have to remind them, and unfortunately, you just have to do it again. Hopefully, it won't be as messy this time with the pee and the poo and everything, right? But like, okay, you see this child, right? But you just have to just commit to it. Okay, all right. So you just have to commit to it and know that it's just part of life. It's just part of growing up. And the best thing about it, or not really the best, but the good thing about it is that you're not the only one dealing with it. You're not the only one dealing with it. A lot of parents are dealing with it because it's happening, and like, it happened to me, and it happened to a couple of my friends, and it happened to my cousin as well, right? But I'm seeing it popping up every now and then, and I'm saying, at a time when I felt lonely and felt like, okay, I'm the only one dealing with this, you know, it's good to know that I'm not the only parent that has to do this again. I'm not the only parent that felt frustration having to re-potty train, because that's basically what you're going to do. You're re-potty training them, maybe not as heavily as before, but still, right? And it's good to know that if my child can come out re-potty trained better than before, then your child can do it, you know? Or if your child can come out better potty trained, or potty trained, re-potty trained, you get what I'm saying, then my child can do it. So it's good to know that you have a virtual community, and that this occurrence is not in a vacuum. It happens with... You want to show your lion?
Yeah.
Okay, show. Show? Good. Right? I want to know that it happens. Alright, so that's basically it. I just really wanted to just pop in and give some assurance, share some experience, and just let you know that potty training regression is a thing, just like sleep regression, but it's not something that a lot of people talk about. I don't see a lot of content on it, but trust me, it is. So if you're a mom, if you're a dad, you're potty training and you're going through the same thing, what you can do is drop some tips in the comments below so that other parents can see what you did different from what I'm advising re potty training, and maybe why your child has regressed or is regressing, so that we can add to the list of why, you know. So anyways, Zaya is getting unruly. That means that it's time to wrap up the video. And all right. We see you, right? Okay, right? All right, so Zaya. Okay, so just an update on Zaya. This is Zaya May Grace Black. What's your name?
Zaya May Grace Black.
Okay, this is Zaya May Grace Black. She is 3 in October. We're recording this video in April. I'm much too lazy to calculate the months right now. And she regressed twice. She was potty trained at 18 months. She regressed in potty training twice in her life thus far. And she is perfect now. Except for 1 and 2. Except for 1 and 2 mishaps. But accidents happen, of course. And when you see a mother, if you're not a mother and you see a mother trying to potty train her child, just give her the love, or a father, just give them the love and support that they need, okay? Please, I beg you, because it's rough out here. Anyways, got to go, got to run. So Zaya, tell them bye.
Bye.
Remember to like, share, and
welcome to you, peeps.
okay, so welcome to CP Peeps.
Welcome to you, peeps.
Say it better than that. Say it better than that.
Welcome to you, peeps.
Alright. Okay, so bye CP Peeps.
Bye, CP Peeps.
Toodles. Oh, you give me a kiss? Alright, give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Bye. Remember to like.
And goodbye.
Yes. Yes. Alright. Toodles. Toodles a la lulus.
Toodles a la lulus.